What step will you take next? One born of reason, not of impulse. You're probably sitting there right now, phone in hand, checking it every few minutes. Every time it buzzes, your heart skips a beat, hoping it's her. You replay every conversation in your mind looking for that one thing you said wrong, trying to pinpoint where everything went off track. Maybe you're thinking of typing out that long message, pouring your heart out, telling her how much you love her, how you'll change, how things will be different this time. But listen, stop. I get it. Your instinct is to fix things, to reach out, to do whatever it takes to get her back. But let me tell you something crucial. Everything you're about to do is the exact opposite of what you should. It will only push her farther away. Trust me, I've seen it 1,000 times. Most guys fall into the trap of desperation, and they destroy any chance they had. But here's the thing. There's a small group of men who get this right. Only 10%. The ones who understand what's really happening. They don't beg or plead. Instead, they transform themselves into the kind of men that women can't imagine leaving. This isn't some quick fix guide or some game to play. This is the reality of what's happening, why it's happening, and how you can handle it like a man. So, put down the phone, take a deep breath, and let me show you the truth. Because what you do next is going to define who you are from here on out. You can either stay stuck in the past, hoping for a miracle, or you can use this moment to evolve into the man you've always been capable of becoming. It's your choice. Remember how it felt in the beginning. When she looked at you like you were the greatest thing that ever walked the earth. You couldn't wait to see her, and neither could she. She texted first, made all the plans, and you could feel her excitement every time you were together. You were her everything. You were her fix, her source of happiness, her dopamine rush. That's the magic of new love. It's thrilling, electric, and feels like it could never end. But here's the hard truth. No one ever warns you about that feeling will fade. And that's okay. It's not because of you. It's not because of her. It's not personal. It's biology. When you first fall in love, her brain is flooded with dopamine, the same chemical responsible for the high you get from drugs. Every text you send is a hit. Every touch, every kiss, every moment together is like pure ecstasy. You're on top of the world, and it feels like it will last forever. But just like any addiction, the high doesn't stay the same. Over time, her brain becomes accustomed to that rush. The excitement she felt from you at the beginning starts to wear off. What once made her smile or laugh now barely registers. After a few months, it takes more to feel the same thrill. After a year, those little things hardly make a dent. And after 2 years, those very things might even start to annoy her. This is the reality of relationships. This is why so many of them fail. This is why divorce rates are sky high. It's not because she doesn't love you anymore, it's because the chemistry has changed. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, if I just try harder, if I show her I still care, things will go back to the way they were. But let me tell you something. Trying harder doesn't work. You can't force that spark to come back. What happens instead? She starts pulling away, and you start wondering why. Maybe she's distant. Maybe she's making excuses, picking at small things. You don't pay enough attention to me. We never do anything fun anymore. You've changed, but what you need to understand is those aren't the real problems. The real issue is that her brain just doesn't respond the same way anymore. It's not your fault. It's just that the honeymoon phase has passed. So what happens next? If you keep chasing her, trying to recreate the initial high, you're only making things worse. You're trying to bring back something that's already faded. And when you do that, it just pushes her further away. This isn't a failure of love. It's a natural process. Every relationship goes through this. The key is knowing how to handle it. You can either hold on to the past, desperately trying to get back what's gone, or you can adapt, grow, and learn how to move forward. Because here's the most important thing I want you to take from this. You don't have to be stuck in this cycle. There's a way out. But it's going to take understanding, patience, and a shift in your mindset. This isn't the end of the road. It's just the beginning of a new chapter. And it's up to you whether that chapter becomes one of growth or regret. Are you ready to move forward? Or are you going to keep chasing the past? The choice is yours. Let's connect the dots. 6 months ago, the thrill faded, not overnight, drop by drop. What used to light her up started to feel normal, routine. Your presence didn't spark dopamine anymore. It signaled predictability. Safety is nice. Safety isn't desire. So her brain did what human brains do when feelings shift. It hunted for a reason. It's hard to say. My chemistry changed. It's easier to say, you don't plan dates, or you never listen, or it's the socks. Those complaints weren't lies. They were labels she slapped on a feeling she couldn't explain. Meanwhile, you stepped into fixer mode. You scheduled the dinners. You over-communicated. You cleaned the socks like a champ. But here's the twist. The harder you tried, the more certain she felt. Not certain about staying, certain about who you were now. Predictable, available, all in. And certainty is the enemy of spark. When she says, I need space, what she really means is, I need the feeling back, and I don't think I'll find it here. She's not asking you to campaign for the role of boyfriend. She's softening the exit. That's why pleading never works. You're negotiating with biology, not logic. Inside her head, it sounds like this: I used to crave him. Now I feel numb. Maybe if he changed, no. He's trying too hard. Why don't I miss him? What's wrong with me? Okay, I need space. And the more you chase that feeling down, the more it runs. Because chase equals certainty. Certainty equals flatline. Here's the part most men miss. She didn't want problems. She wanted polarity. She wanted a man with gravity. A man with a life that doesn't collapse without her. When you made her your mission, you lost the very tension that created attraction in the first place. So what do you do now? First, stop bargaining with reality. If she needs space, give her the galaxy. No speeches, no one last talk. Silence is dignity. Distance is medicine. Not to manipulate her, but to stabilize you. Second, end the invisible chasing. No watching her stories. No just checking in. No using friends as spies. That's not space, that's hovering. And hovering screams uncertainty. You're not uncertain. You've decided to move forward. Third, reclaim your rhythm. Lift heavy. Work on the mission that existed before her and will exist after. Fill your life with momentum that doesn't require her applause. When your day is full, your mind stops inventing reasons to text. Finally, hold the paradox if she ever reaches out. It won't be love at first ping. It'll be curiosity, an open loop. If you answer like the old you, the loop closes and she vanishes. If you stay grounded, calm, busy, she'll feel the distance that used to be desire. This isn't punishment, it's posture. You're not proving a point to her, you're proving a standard to yourself. And that standard is simple. You don't chase chemistry. You create gravity. When she pulls away, your body fires alarms. Your chest tightens. Your thumbs itch to type. Every part of you wants to close the gap. That's not love talking. That's panic. And panic makes you do the exact things that erase the little attraction that's left. So you do the hardest thing. First, you get quiet. Not to punish her, not to play games. You get quiet because a man needs stillness to hear himself again. You let the storm pass without chasing it. No long messages, no one last talk, no checking her stories at midnight. When she says she needs space, you give her the horizon and you turn back to your life. Morning becomes your anchor. Phone face down. Breath in your belly. Sweat on the floor. When the bar feels heavy, you remember something important. Strength isn't a mood, it's a practice. You rebuild your appetite for hard things, and your nervous system starts to trust you again. That calm you keep trying to text into existence, it shows up when your body believes you can carry your own weight. Your days fill up, not with distractions, with purpose. Work that actually stretches you, skills you postponed, friends who tell you the truth. You stop trying to solve the ache with her attention and start solving it with momentum. The mind can't obsess when the man is moving. And slowly, you become the version of you she first felt drawn to, only steadier. Back then, you had gravity because your life had mass. You weren't performing mystery. You were busy building something. That's the difference people feel but can't name. You're no longer orbiting her. You're your own sun again. I watched a guy do this. Let's call him Eli. He was drowning in gestures, flowers, paragraphs, just happened to be nearby. She slipped further. We cut the noise. 30 quiet days. He trained, slept, ate clean, reopened a project he'd buried. By week 3, his voice slowed down. He didn't sound like a man begging for oxygen. He sounded like a man who had lungs. On day 28, she texted, "Hope you're well." The old Eli would have sent a novel. The new Eli finished his dinner, slept, and replied in the morning. "Thanks, hope you are too." No hook to grab, no opening to climb through, just a boundary shaped like a sentence. She noticed. She asked to meet. He listened. He didn't sell. He didn't punish. He let reality speak for itself. Here's the quiet truth that sneaks up on you once you stop chasing. Whether she returns or not becomes less important than who you became in the space she left. Begging shrinks you. Silence steadies you. Predictability kills spark. Purpose restores gravity. You don't win this by holding tighter. You win it by holding yourself. And the minute you stop needing her to breathe is the first minute she can actually see you again. Maybe for the first time. Letting go is not a trick. It's a shift in posture. When she asks for space, you don't lean in, you lean back. Not with attitude, with acceptance. I understand. Then you disappear into your own life. That's not cold. That's clarity. You're honoring the truth that love can't be argued into existence. Here's what happens next, mostly inside you. The first few days feel like standing on a cliff without a railing. Your hands want the phone. Your mind wants the old script. You breathe instead. You go for a run. You lift. You clean your place. You cook. You call a friend who won't let you talk in circles. You sleep. You wake up a little steadier. Desire turns down. Dignity turns up. Her brain, meanwhile, meets silence. Not punishment, not passive aggression, just the absence of your constant availability. Uncertainty returns, not the chaos kind, the kind that reminds people they're dealing with a man who has options, direction, and boundaries. She wonders where you are, not because she suddenly loves you again, but because unfinished stories pull at the mind. That's psychology, not romance. But here's the piece most men miss. It only works when you're not waiting for it to work. If you vanish while watching her stories, crafting replies, and checking who viewed your posts, she feels it. That's not letting go. That's hiding. Real. Letting go is when your day is so full, you forget to perform indifference. You're not pretending to move on. You're busy moving. I remember a night I almost broke. I typed a paragraph I thought would land like poetry. It read like panic. I deleted it. I put my shoes on and walked until the urge passed. By the time I got home, the message I wanted to send had changed not to her. To myself, we don't beg for what's leaving. That sentence saved me from 100 weak choices. You will feel the pull to explain, to clarify, to secure your spot in her head. Resist it. Explanations are for resumes. Attraction is felt, not argued. The man who respects himself is louder in silence than the man who shouts his worth. And if she reaches out, you won't be there with a net made of need. You'll be there with a life. You'll answer like a man who's fine either way. A simple line, a calm tone, nothing extra. If there's a path forward, it will reveal itself without you forcing it. If there isn't, you're already walking yours. Letting go isn't losing her, it's finding you. And the paradox is brutal and true. The moment you stop clutching is the moment anything real has a chance to stay. Here's the part that separates men who heal from men who hover. Your absence has to be real. Not a staged silence. Not a pause with one eye on her stories. Real. The kind where your life fills the space she used to occupy so fully that you forget to perform indifference. Women can smell need in the quiet. If you're waiting by the phone in monk's clothing, she'll feel it. That's not absence. That's acting. Month 1, she's floating. Relief, freedom, new attention, validation on tap. You're a closed tab in her browser. That's okay. You don't fight it. You don't check if she's watching. You let the dust settle and you build, not to get a reaction, but because stillness without purpose turns into obsession. Then the novelty thins, the nights lengthen, the room gets loud at 2 a.m. She scrolls and stumbles across your name in her head, not on the screen, in her head. And here's where your work matters. What does she see when curiosity cracks the door? Not your quote about heartbreak. Not a sad boy playlist. Not a desperate DM waiting in drafts. She sees nothing from you and everything around you. This is what real absence creates questions. Where did he go? Is he okay? Why does it feel different now? She's not jolted by jealousy. She's haunted by uncertainty. Open loops pull on the brain like gravity, but the loop only stays open if you do. Let me paint it simply. If she checks your page and finds grief performances, she's validated. Loop closed. If she finds silence and the faint echo of a life moving forward, loop open. If she checks mutual friends and hears, he's good, busy, Don't think he's thinking about it. Loop wide open. Absence works because it reframes the final scene. Her last image of you was probably pleading, convincing, promising. When you vanish, that frame gets replaced. Now she remembers the man with gravity, not the boy pressing send. And the more your days stack, training, deep work, clean sleep, real laughter, the more your nervous system calms. You stop acting indifferent. You are indifferent. That's the shift she can feel without seeing a thing. And if that late-night curiosity becomes a text, breathe. This is not the moment to rush. Curiosity isn't commitment. It's a knock on the door. Let it knock. Finish your set. Finish your dinner. Sleep on it. Respond when you're centered. Keep it simple. Keep it light. No fishing hooks. No essays. She's not auditioning you. You're not auditioning her. 2 adults. 2 paths. Maybe 1 new conversation. Understand the deeper point. The goal of absence isn't to pull her back. It's to pull you back to yourself, to your standards, to your spine. If she returns and you've stayed the same, the loop closes and the story repeats. If she returns and you're rooted, you won't cling. You'll assess. You'll listen. You'll choose. Real absence isn't a tactic. It's a teacher. It teaches you patience. It teaches you sovereignty. And it teaches her something too. You were never disappearing to make her miss you. You were disappearing to remember you. That's the kind of quiet a woman respects. That's the kind of quiet that either reignites attraction or sets you free without regret. Your brain wants a puzzle to solve. It thinks if you just decode her posts, read between the lines, track who liked what, you'll find the secret door back in. You won't. That path is a maze with no exit. Every scroll burns another hour. What did she mean by that? Cuts another slice off your self-respect. Let me be blunt. She's not sending you hidden messages through Spotify or Instagram. She's living her life. You're the one turning pixels into prophecies. And every time you ask a friend for an update, you teach your nervous system the worst habit a man can learn, outsourcing peace to information you don't need. You're not a detective. You're a man rebuilding. So kill the private investigator routine. Delete the shortcuts to her profile. Mute her stories. Tell your friends kindly to stop relaying intel. You're not being rude. You're protecting your recovery. Clarity returns when noise dies. And about staying friends. No, not while you still want her. Friendship is not a detox. It's a drip line. You'll get just enough contact to keep the craving alive and just enough pain to keep you stuck. You'll hear about her dates. You'll smile through it. You'll go home hollow. That's not maturity, that's self-betrayal dressed as kindness. If she suggests friendship, it usually means one of 2 things. She wants the comfort without the commitment, or you're too scared to let go and you're begging for scraps. Either way, it keeps you small. You are not a backup plan, a maybe, or an emotional support animal with Wi-Fi. What does strength look like here? It's simple and clean. I can't be friends. If we're not together, I wish you well. Then you step out of the doorway. No speeches, no blame, just a boundary. You choose the pain that ends instead of the pain that loops. I coached a guy who tried the friend route. Coffee check-ins, late-night calls. He swore he was fine. He wasn't. He was starving himself with crumbs. The day he ended the friendship, he shook for an hour. The next day he slept. The next week he laughed. Sometimes the body knows before the mind does. You finally fed it dignity. Let go of the need to know. Let go of the need to hold on. Your power is not in decoding her. It's in deciding you. The moment you stop hunting for signs is the moment you start sending one. I'm a man with a life, not a radar looking for yours. You're either her lover or you're gone. Anything in between is a slow bleed. Save your blood. Fill your lungs. Walk forward. I know that line stings. She did you a favor. It feels like I'm minimizing your pain. I'm not. I'm telling you the truth that frees men who are ready to grow. Because if love can evaporate the moment comfort shows up, you weren't building a future, you were renting a feeling. Look at what her exit exposed. Your dependence, your habits, your lack of a mission. The places where you outsourced your self-worth to a pair of eyes and a good morning text. That's not love. That's a leash. And a leash on a man doesn't keep him safe, it keeps him small. When she left, she didn't take your value. She took the illusion that she was the source of it. That's the favor. She ripped off the IV drip and forced you to learn how to breathe again. Painful. Absolutely. But pain is honest. Pain trims the lies you've been living on. This is where most guys waste months trying to reinflate the fantasy. We were different. No, you weren't. You were chemical like everyone at the start, then comfortable like everyone in the middle, then confused like everyone at the end. Predictable isn't shameful, it's educational. Use it. So what has become the kind of man women never want to leave actually mean? It's not about louder muscles or colder texting. It's about building a life with enough gravity that people feel it when they step close. A man with gravity has pillars. He has a mission that existed before her and will exist after. He can be deeply loving without becoming dependent. He tells the truth cleanly. He sets the pace of his days. He chooses discomfort on purpose. Cold mornings, hard sets, work that stretches him so he's not ruled by the discomfort he didn't choose. I watched a client make this shift. For months he called her the one. When she left, he shattered. Then he did something rare. He let the pain teach him. He tightened his circle. He learned to cook. He lifted 4 days a week, not for selfies, but for sanity. He reviewed his finances like an adult, started saying no to things that deluded him, yes to a mentorship that scared him. 6 months later, he didn't sound over her. He sounded rooted. She reached out. He didn't rush. He didn't gloat. He listened, and he chose from strength, not starvation. Here's the paradox I want burned into your bones. The goal isn't to become a man women can't leave. It's to become a man who won't leave himself. When you refuse to abandon your standards, your body, your mission, people feel it. Some will step closer, some will fall away. Either outcome is a win. So thank her not with a text, with transformation. Thank her by becoming the man who would have never begged. The man who leads even when he's lonely. The man whose love is an overflow, not a plea. She did you a favor. She ended the story where you were half you. Start the chapter where you're whole. And here's the line that will carry you through the quiet nights. You don't need her to be chosen. You need you to be chosen. Choose yourself fully, daily, relentlessly. The rest will sort itself out. This is where boys break and men are born. Not in the DM, in the dark alone with your breath, your discipline, and your choices. Start simple. Start today. Not for her, for you. Pick a wake-up time and defend it. Hydrate, make your bed, lift heavy, or move your body hard for 45 minutes. Nothing fancy, just sweat and a clock you keep. Strength isn't a selfie. It's a promise you keep with yourself when no one's watching. Build your days around a mission, not a mood. What creates long-term value in your life? Learn the skill, ship the project, fix your finances, schedule deep work blocks, and guard them like your life depends on it. Because your future does. When a man has direction, his nervous system calms. Calmness reads as confidence. Confidence creates gravity. Clean your environment. Clutter is anxiety you can see. Donate what you don't use. Organize your space so it reflects where you're going, not where you've been. When your room looks sharp, your mind follows. Fix the inputs. Junk food, junk media, junk opinions out. Eat like you respect tomorrow. Limit the endless scroll. Replace 2 hours of content with 1 hour of reading and 1 hour of learning. Feed your brain like you feed your body protein, not candy. Get around strong men. Brotherhood is a shortcut to standards. Train with a friend who doesn't let you lie. Find mentors who speak to your potential, not your excuses. If your circle laughs at your goals, that's not a circle. That's a drain. Now, about women. Date when you're ready. Not to prove anything, to remember abundance. Keep it honest and light. Lead the plan. Pay attention to how she handles small things time. Kindness, responsibility, attraction matters. So do values. If it's a no, end it with respect. If it's a yes, stay present without handing over your center. You're inviting her to join your pace, not handing her the steering wheel. Set standards that protect your future self. Sleep is a standard. Honesty is a standard. No drama is a standard. If someone brings chaos you didn't order, send it back. Boundaries are love aimed inward. Create weekly rituals that anchor you. Sunday reset, long walk without your phone, journaling for clarity, a cold shower when your brain extosat. The goal isn't to feel unstoppable. The goal is to act aligned, especially on average days. Understand the deeper shift. You're not trying to become a man. She won't leave. You're becoming a man who won't abandon himself under pressure, under praise, or under the spell of a pretty face. That's the upgrade. And here's the paradox that will shadow you in the best way. The more complete you are alone, the more powerful you are together. Need chokes love. Wholeness feeds it. So build the life that doesn't ask permission. Stack clean days. Train your body. Sharpen your skills. Choose your people wisely. Let your presence say what your begging never could. I'm good with you. I'm good without you. Either way, I'm moving. Let's land this plane. You can keep staring at the door she walked through, or you can turn around and see the road in front of you. Those are the only two options. One is a loop, the other is a life. Men who bounce back don't perform moving on. They move. They stack quiet wins until momentum replaces mourning. They don't post about growth, they outgrow the need to post. Their days get heavy with things that matter, and that weight builds muscle where the heartbreak used to live. And here's what always surprises them somewhere along the way. They stop trying to prove anything. To her, to friends, even to themselves. The noise dies. The need fades. Peace shows up like a sunrise, slow at first, Then, suddenly, undeniable. You want a simple test. Ask yourself, if she texted right now, would I change my plans? If the answer is yes, you still live at the mercy of a ping. If the answer is no, you've started to become the man she couldn't meet when she had you. The man with a plan, a spine, and a schedule. I remember a guy who swore he'd never feel normal again. Week 1, he shook. Week 2, he slept. Week 4, he laughed. Week 8, he forgot to check her page. Not because he forced it, but because his life finally got louder than his loss. That's the shift you're aiming for, not a louder chest beat, a quieter center. So choose your path with intention. Choose workouts that leave your shirt heavy with sweat. Choose work that builds skills you can't buy. Choose friends who speak to your standards, not your comfort. Choose sleep, clean food, and honest words. Choose the kind of boredom that creates ideas, not the kind that scrolls them away. And if she notices, if she circles back, you don't gloat, you don't punish, you don't sprint, you evaluate. Is there alignment now? Values, vision, pace? If yes, proceed with presence. If no, wish her well and keep ya. A king doesn't chase a chair. He builds the kingdom and the right people sit. This isn't about turning cold. It's about turning whole. You can love deeply without losing yourself. You can be generous without being drained. You can be available without being owned. That's grown man polarity, soft heart. Steel frame. So, what's it going to be? Another night stalking memories? Or your first night of a new standard stand-up? Put your phone face down. Breathe. Do the next honest thing. Then the next. Let action stack until identity shifts. One day you'll realize you didn't get over her. You simply became a man with too much future to fit inside your past. Here's the paradox that crowns the whole journey. You only keep what you don't cling to. You only attract what you don't worship. You only win love when you can walk away from it. Need repels. Wholeness pulls. Be whole. The rest finds you on your way. She left. Good. Now you leave. To leave the version of you that begged, waited, and called it love. This is your clean break. Not from her, from the weak habits that kept you small. Grieve if you must. Then get up. Put your phone face down. Breathe. Move iron. Eat clean. Do the work that scares you. Stack simple wins until momentum drowns the noise. You don't need her to feel whole. You need you. That's the shift. If she circles back, you won't be waiting at the door. You'll be already moving, choosing from strength, not starvation. That's the man you're building now. A man with gravity, not gimmicks. A man who can love deeply without losing himself. Remember the paradox. You only keep what you can walk away from. Need repels. Wholeness pulls. Now act. Tonight, one honest workout. One clean meal. 1 hour of focused work. Tomorrow, repeat. This week, set a standard and defend it. If you want structure, say plan, and I'll hand you a 30-day blueprint. If you want accountability, say check-in, and I'll keep you honest. Close the chapter. Start the climb. Become the man your future thanks, and your past wouldn't recognize. Thank you for watching. If this message hit you, don't just scroll away. Subscribe. Dive deeper into our content, and start building the mind state that puts you back in control. Drop a comment below. What's the biggest struggle you want us to break down next? Let's build a brotherhood of men who rise above confusion and reclaim their power. See you in the next video.